Hold up. Park it. Kick back, spark it. Welcome to the spot where money talks honest. Yeah. This is Gosh Talk with Bill Haase. Real life money in your front seat. From the paycheck to the profit. Turn that I don't know to I got this. Gosh Talk with Bill Haase. Blueprint stacked on the workbench. From the hustle to the harvest. Learning what they never really taught us. So if you're tired of the fine print winning, slide a chair in, that's a new beginning. We keep it straight, keep it smart, keep it classy. You're tuned in now, Gosh Talk with Bill Haase.
Hey all, welcome back to Garage Talk with Bill Haase. You know, it's a show typically about finance, although we do like to stray a little bit. And today's one of those days where I've got two good friends that I'm bringing on here, and we're more interested in talking about connecting and serving. And because that affects money, it affects our businesses, it affects a whole lot of things in our lives. But I wanted to start off, I have Kevin Jackson here, who is the founder of VOB, that is a veteran-owned business network. And I got it right this time, Kevin. And so this is a typical network. Mostly veterans are involved. I am not a veteran, but I'm still involved with them because I like to work with military in a lot of different capacities. But Kevin, welcome into the show. Tell us a little bit about VOB.
Yeah, thank you. Veteran-owned business network. We are a business incubator for veterans. I actually am not a vet either. Grew up in a Marine Corps household. However, my co-founder, Frank, is a Desert Storm Armored Cav vet. And about, what do you say, Clay, about 50% to 60, 70% of our board are veterans from all branches of the service, except for Space Force.
Oh, yeah. We don't have one represented there.
Clay Hicks here. Clay Hicks is the founder of H7, and as I like to describe it, it's when you get into the networking world, you start very small, maybe locally, maybe through a chamber or something, and as you and your business grow, you grow into bigger and more refined networks until you get to the ultimate network, and that is H7 that Clay Hicks runs, an international networking group that prides themselves on serving and not selling. So Clay, welcome, and I have these two gentlemen together because there's something else going on too. But tell us just a little bit about H7 before we get into the dual role.
Yeah. So H7 founded all the way back in '08. We're celebrating 18 years this year in business. I'll briefly share that we used to only be in person. Like you can only find us in 2 states. And since the pandemic, we've expanded to having members in 48 states and 23 other countries. And so we have groups technically in 3 different countries right now. So we are international, and we have groups in 22 states in America.
That is incredible. And now Kevin and Clay have merged their organizations for the benefit of both. And how's that working out?
Very well.
I love it.
Yeah. I think it's great. As a business incubator for veterans, we lean in and help them with paperwork, corporate formation, business plans, grant and loan applications, the kind of drudgery that a lot of veterans don't appreciate the full scope of. But all of them need marketing at some point. And networking is the best way to market your business. Get out there and build relationships. My career over 30 years has always been nothing but referral marketing. So it's a powerful tool.
It's safe to say that veterans aren't taught how to build a business, right? That's just not in the repertoire of the military, right? They have a lot of things going on, but teaching someone how to build a business is not part of it. And then Clay can step in and talk about someone who knows how to build a business. That would be Clay. So, look, I spent 4 years on a radio show. I probably interviewed over 1,000 business owners, and I learned a great deal about how to build a business as well. I dabble with your organization from time to time, and if I had more time, I'd be more bigger part of it. But let's talk about, you have a special event coming up this weekend, and it's a combination of H7 and veterans-owned businesses. There'll be some VOB folks there representing. And so, Clay, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this event?
Well, man, it's our annual conference. It's called Connect, Serve, and Ask 2026 Summit. And so Connect, Serve, and Ask is the methodology for developing relationships that we've been refining, and I've written books about, and I speak about, and the method is a foundational method for how we develop relationships. So VOB is going to be right there in the room with us, and they're going to be represented because they're a relationship of ours, they're a partner of ours, and so we want the VOB nation and community to feel that. And so we invited them in to participate with us. And so there are a couple people there representing, some people there representing VOB. But most importantly, the conference is really about, or the summit, excuse me, is really about the Connect, Serve, and Ask method coming out. It's an immersive experience where I'll be telling stories throughout the conference and really connecting deeper with everybody who is present and in the audience to hopefully influence or motivate them to, because of the close proximity, being in the room with so many stars and professionals that, you hire to fix your business because they're that good. That's who's going to be in the room. And so to be around that proximity, around all these people being in the same room, just makes this summit like a summit. Like, this is the place where we start, and relationships are going to be built and champions are going to be developed, because we take everything we learn in this summit and we go out there and we rock the world and we create predictable results from our champion relationships. And so that's what the whole summit is about.
It's awesome. I mean, if you're in the Nashville area, you might want to look into this. I think that's where it's being held this year. I really wish I could be there, but I noticed two things. One thing is you leave out the word sell, because it's not about selling, right? And that's what most networking people don't understand. That it is not about selling. In fact, that's the worst thing you can do, networking. It's likely, but I like the word that you have in there, that is ask, because the one that most business owners will not ever do is ask for help.
To get you,
The biggest detriment to a business owner is they won't ask for help because they feel like they're supposed to know everything, and they're supposed to be able to figure it all out. And Kevin, do you run into that with the military aspect?
Not just military, but I mean, as a CFO, that's my career, is stress reduction. It's helping people stop beating their head against the wall, wearing all the hats, overwhelmed with working 80 hours a week and trying to figure out why they're getting paid less than their employees. But it really is stress reduction. But vets fall right into the same thing as the general public, really. It's the connecting with people that are particular professionals at the things you're not good at, gives you more time to do the things you're good at that make you more money. It's that simple.
Yeah, but then the old saying comes in: what you are not aware of controls you. So it helps to bring those people in. But I know business people. So we both have a friend, Clay. I'm sure you know Joe Rojas,
I do.
in New York, and Joe wrote a book on the number of hats a business owner wears, and I think it's somewhere around 115. So if you're a business owner listening to this and you think you can wear 115 hats, God bless you, and you go forward and you do your thing. But the one thing I learned was most people don't understand money and finance, and they might understand their business finance a little bit better than they understand their own personal finance. I can tell you, I was working with the CFO of Gorilla, and I asked her, I said, can you please help me. I'm trying to explain this to your husband. Can you help me? And she's like, oh, I don't know anything about money. I go, she's a CFO of Barilla. Okay. Well, that's not going to help. But it's one of the things that drove me out of the business of financial advising is people didn't understand. Do you run into that with business owners that you talk to?
That's my career. I mean,
Well, yeah, you're CFO, right? So
that literally is my career. When I was young in my 20s, I used to have the wrong opinion that if you owned a business and didn't understand your own financials, you had no business owning that business. But that is provably not true because I wouldn't have had a career if it was.
yeah.
And the thing is, they don't teach business in med school. They don't teach business in law school. Lawyers at least have the advantage of their frequently finance or business degrees before they become lawyers. Doctors are all pre-med. Oh my God. Yeah, they're at a loss, you know. They're brilliant at being doctors, but they do not know how to, run their practice, which is a problem because what doctor doesn't eventually want to have a practice?
Yeah. And you're right. Probably some of the worst financial people I've ever met. But Clay, you meet, thousands of business owners.
I do.
And I got to believe that a huge percentage of them are going to be seeking financial help. Are you getting some financial folks at your show that I probably should be there for?
Well, so 99% of H7's community is an entrepreneur. Like they own their own business. So, lots of them use fractionals. Some of them are fractionals, so fractional executives and things. But every business should have a fractional CFO if they're doing $250,000 a year. They should just get somebody early on as fast as possible if they got to finance it so they can clear it out, streamline their business, and get moving. But that's where I see it being.
Yeah, I don't know. Is your summit going to address any of that aspect of business?
I don't have a CFO that will be leading a table or speaking, but I do have fractionals, and we do have some consultants, we do have coaches, and we have things like that. We have 18 speakers, so we have a lot of. But when it comes to financial, we'll call it financial literacy of any kind. I can't think of that we have that one, but basically, people are going to be tiptoeing around that for sure. Consultants that understand business and blah 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 that are going to be talking about things.
Well, I could understand. There's a bazillion different angles that you can bring into play when you're coming to a summit and having 18 speakers, and then Kevin, unfortunately, being in Hawaii, was a little too far away to make it to Nashville, at least this year. So, do you change the event location annually?
I have every year so far. So we started out in our home state of Ohio. So we were in Columbus the first time, and then we went to Dayton, and then we included the community to select Nashville. So the community technically selected Nashville. We ran, polls or whatever, finding out what they wanted, what they thought. And Denver was one, Chicago was one, New York was one, Nashville was one, Miami, I think, or Orlando.
Okay.
And Nashville beat it out.
Well, I hope
Nash
you can come
Vegas.
to Chicago sometime.
What's that?
I hope you can come to Chicago sometime. I would love that.
I try to get up there quarterly, Bill. So next time I come up, I'll let you know I'm coming.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And Kevin, I'm going to try and see Kevin. I think hopefully in June. I don't know if we'll be able to get on the same island together. I'll be in Oahu.
I'll come over. It's flights between island are cheap.
Yeah, well, maybe not right now.
Well, yeah, good point.
Generally they are. But so a little bit more about VOB, Kevin. I know you're about a year into this, right?
Not even. We had our first board meeting last May, so we're not quite a year old. I mean, we were literally, Frank and I having a conversation at the end of January 2025. That's what kicked it off. And, then I was having another conversation with Mike Garrity, another one of our board members, who we were talking about the database and serving veterans and trying to reduce frustration levels on programs that are supposed to be available to them. And I asked Mike, we were talking about succession farming, planning for farmers, help them protect probate. Dad dies, they don't lose the family farm to probate. I go, hey, by the way, Mike, do you happen to be a vet? And he goes, yeah, I did 5 years in the Air Force. Why? And I told him what Frank and I were discussing. He goes, huh, funny you should say that. I've had a speaking engagement at the Aberdeen Proving Ground, which is a military base in Maryland, for the last 20 years on a quarterly basis, helping vets transition out of the service.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He goes, they have a brick and mortar business incubator that have helped more than a few hundred veteran-owned businesses get started, give them a receptionist, office space, Xerox machine back when it mattered, because Xerox machines used to cost $10,000, right? But they've been around for a bit, and they have a very successful program. He goes, but so many services can be offered virtually now. Most of my clients are still on the mainland, and I've been here in Hawaii for 10 years now. So particularly since COVID, he goes, why don't we do an incubator virtually, an e-incubator? That way we can serve veterans all across the country. And I need to put together a list of states we're in, because we're in a lot of states now where we have veterans, board members, all across the country. Hell, I'm in Hawaii. We have people in California, New Mexico, Texas, South Dakota, Chicago, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Carolinas, Florida. I mean, I actually have to look and see which ones we're not in. But
yeah, I think you got Mark Spinelli down there in the southeast as well, and
Michigan, California. Yeah, we're literally all over the place. Seattle.
Yeah, just makes me wonder why I'm still here in Illinois. But okay, with all these other wonderful places to live, but and Clay, you're in 48 states, 23 countries. I mean, that's just incredible. That's just incredible, because I've probably known you, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. I would think at least, and it has just grown exponentially. How do you pull that off?
Oh, that's easy, Bill. Let me tell you how I did that. I found champions to help me. That's exactly how I did that. I found great relationships. I was introduced to great relationships. I developed great relationships, because if this were by myself, there's no way I could do all of this. So I'm so grateful that I have such great relationships to help me to get there. Right.
I hope people are taking notes on this, because this is something I've tried to push for a long time now. Even with I'm on the executive board of a very large chamber in my area, and I try to push this all the time. And people keep trying to sell. I'm like, no, this is about relationships. This is about serving. This is about connecting. This is, and I'll introduce you to a friend of mine, Sean Bagley, who uses a great line. He goes, are you out there hunting, or are you harvesting? And I love that line, because he teaches people how to harvest, not how to hunt, right? It's so important, and everybody needs support. Everybody needs help.
Sure do.
You sit there and readily admit, I surrounded myself with champions, and boom, it just exploded quickly in time. And Kevin's now starting to build his program at the VOB, and you've got like 120 members already.
Yeah, I sent out the recap last night. It was 122 now. We get 1 or 2 new people at the Tuesday meeting every week.
Yeah, that's just amazing how that's growing, and the importance of that, because as you and I have talked about, that there are many places for veterans to go to. If you Google trying to search for help in certain areas, and you find so many dead ends.
Well, that's exactly why we got started. It was that trying to reduce that frustration level. We were initially just going to have a vetted list of, well, these are the guys that answer the phone, maybe a red list of, don't waste your time with these guys, they're not there anymore. And
it can take a long time putting that list together.
It does, but we actually through Clay, people right? Hey, I know a guy. Clay introduced me to someone who's building out a member directory for us, and we're leaning into that database project kind of backwards. We're taking all the listings, all the government organizations, all the charitable organizations that are out there promoting towards vets, and putting them in a list that's searchable by a location. And we're using some AI tools we have access to vet them. So they don't answer the phone 3 times. We're taking a complete Google or phone book list. You don't answer the phone, you're off the list. So we're going to reduce that. So when you come to our site, our member directory, and search, it won't be the same thing as Google where you get everything in a bunch of dead numbers. You're going to get only the ones that answer the phone, only the ones that respond, only the ones that actually do what they say they're going to do. Because there's some of that out there too, right? People trying to take advantage, a little bit of that going on. But a lot of there's a lot of great organizations that are small and not marketing very well. So as we come across them and meet them, we'll be promoting them too. So the idea is, hey, I'm in Poughkeepsie. What's available to me? I know a guy in Poughkeepsie, that kind of thing. It really is. And over the last year or so, I've always run my business this way. I serve my client what they need. If I'm looking at their financials and see they're paying too much for workers' comp insurance, like, oh my God, you're paying 10 grand a month in workers' comp insurance. That's nuts. But I'm not an insurance broker. I can't fix it.
Yeah.
I do know an insurance broker that can. And I've always kind of worked that way. But my God, with the VOB over the last year, the people that are stepping up, not just quantitatively, the number of people I can reach out to is a much larger number, but also the quality of people that are stepping up because they want to be involved. They want to serve. They want to help. I've known lots of lawyers. I like 3, but I've known lots. I've had lawyers as clients. Gina, our legal counsel, she's a Yale-trained lawyer in mergers and acquisitions on Wall Street for the last 10 years. It's not the same thing as knowing a personal injury attorney in LA. So the people, PhDs that reach out to us and say, hey, how can I help? Okay. I put together our board of veterans and people with better resumes than me. That was my point.
You kind of sound a little bit like Clay here as well, with putting champions on your side.
Clay's one of them.
That's right.
We met on a platform, and he invited me to H7. I liked it and stayed. He was promoting a veteran organization, Krista, with Freedom Whiskey. I saw that, thought it was cool. Frank and I had just started talking about building a database and talking to Mike about an incubator. And, so I said, hey, what you're doing for Krista is cool. We're doing this. And I had maybe 40 connections on LinkedIn at the time. I just started. And I thought if he even saw what I posted, he might click like. Dude, he was on a Zoom call with me 2 days later. I explained what we were looking to do. And he goes, I love it. I'm in. And now he's on our board. And now he's got a carved out section on H7 for veterans with a discount. Now he's hosting this big event, which is for H7, but we get to be there.
Yeah. Well, you get somebody like Clay to say, I'm all in.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to be pretty well set, because I remember telling some folks that you introduced me to, Thomas and Rob Scott, Thomas Lang, and Eric. I don't call it his last name, but I don't want to say it because I think he's overseas on a mission of some sort. And I looked at them and they kept saying, well, this call was for us to figure out how we could help you. And all you've done for 40 minutes is talk about how you want to help us. And that's the kind of relationships, that's the kind of service you want to see. And they're just like, how can I help you? I said, well, let me know what you're trying to do, what you're looking to do, what issues you might be having with the efforts you're making. I said, because I probably know a guy. And if I don't know a guy, I know a guy who does. And now we have Clay Hicks on the show, and I realize, yes, I absolutely have a guy who knows a guy. You don't even have to think about it anymore, But that's how it works, right?
I mean,
Well-
I'm an introvert as an accountant. I don't want to read a speech. I don't want to give a presentation. I'll have a conversation with anybody, but it's so much easier for me to say, how can I help you, than it is for me to try to, pitch whatever the hell I'm trying to sell. It just doesn't, it doesn't work for me. I don't have that kind of personality. I'm not good at it, and I understand that, and I'm okay with it. So if I can help you, maybe you'll pay attention later, and realize what I do and what I'm good at, and you'll need that at some point.
Yeah, Clay's the master at that.
I have a lot of fun. I've got, check this out. I've been able to make connections to people, yes, in the same city, and they did not know each other, even down to the same neighborhood, because I knew the person that was like very close to them. I had a member once say, I asked him where he lived. He said Wynwood. I was like, we have a member that lives there. Can I introduce you to him? And they're like, yes, 2 blocks away. They lived 2 blocks away. That's my record. But I really like how, just back to the VOB thing. Well, so we have 2 VOB members that are coming down to Nashville. Well, one lives about 2 hours away in Kentucky, and the other one lives in Michigan. They're both coming down today, and we'll see them tonight while we're here and all this stuff. And that was, I mean, think about what that was. Like, VOB is corporate headquarters, I believe, is Pennsylvania, is where it's stated.
Yeah.
Executive director lives in Hawaii. We just started it 10 months ago or 11 months ago. I jump all the way in. Kevin's doing it. Let's do it. Jim Mills is doing it. Let's go. Let's go win. And so all this stuff starts to happen and transpire. A month ago,
Jim's
I'm like, hey, I said, we got to get VOB into this conference because we got to tell the world. And so Kevin and Frank and those guys, Jim, I mean, they all made it happen. And wait till you meet GB. That guy's like, if he's thunder, I'm lightning. Like, wait till we get the Marine up. Yeah, wait till we get the Marine up there speaking Friday morning. Not GB, but just Brock Heath as he delivers a motivational presentation. Like, it's gonna be awesome, man. This thing's gonna be electric. And then you can't put Brock and I in the same room, or the room starts to ruminate with heat. So now you got GB walking around with this big old cowboy hat on, being an Army Ranger. This room is going to be literally on fire.
He's there now, by the way.
Oh, is he? Okay, good to know.
GB's a unique individual. I just had the privilege of having a great conversation with him this week, and he's a dual. Well, he's veteran, but he's a farmer, and he does it. And he does both. And I'm like, boy, how do you balance working on a farm and then hold the second job? And he's like, but
same way he balances his 7 kids.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say he's got 7 kids.
Yeah.
He doesn't look old enough to have 7 kids. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to ask how many wives, but still.
Just one wife.
That's lightning in a bottle. And that's what it's all about with connecting, serving, and asking, bringing people together. And it's amazing that you do this summit and bring people together, in person, because I've only been on the Zoom meetings and stuff like that. And I've always met incredible, amazing people doing amazing things. And I've never heard anybody ask, to sell you something. I've never heard anybody get up there and say, well, here's what I do, and my product's awesome, and you need it, and you should have to get it, and want it, and need it, want it, and grab it, and pay for it, and then we can talk more later. And I can say, you don't get that.
They find out as soon as they join. We talk about the value of selling through the room, not to the room. That's the deal. Yeah, and that's
and Kevin brought it up too. So it's how can I help?
Yeah,
right. That's the mentality I get from H7 and from VOB.
It's honestly, people should learn the secret. In fact, it's just an easier conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yes, it's ethically better. Okay, great. But it's also easier. I mean, it's
Well,
a simpler conversation.
to the business owner that doesn't want to ask for help.
Yeah.
But if you go to that business owner and say, "Hey, how can I help you?" That's a better conversation to have with a business owner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All day
Hey, let me tell you this statistic real quick. Okay. So I've done that. I just crossed over 9,600 one-to-ones last week that I've done with strangers since August of 14. There have only been, out of 9,600 people, 8 people refused help. 8.
Well,
8.
8
That's a
people.
great data number, Ed. That's a great metric, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an amazing metric, and I'm shocked that you only found 8 people that were stupid.
Well, I've had some weird ones, but yeah, out of the 8, I can tell you how they went down. It was weird. Yeah.
So how can I help you? Have that conversation because you both know, and I've had conversations with people that I thought, why am I even meeting with this guy? I don't know. I don't have any need for what he or she does and everything. But you end the conversation with making some really incredible connections. And some of them are with, if you give me a room full of people and I pick out 2 people that I absolutely don't want to meet or talk to. So I force myself to be those 2 the first that I reach out to, and they turn out to be amazing, connections. So you just never know.
No.
But
You do need to be intentional, though, Bill. You do need to be intentional around that mindset, though, because not everybody's that way. So oftentimes, if they just begin practicing that, how can I help or whatever, that could change that,
in my book, I ask the question. And when I speak, I ask the question, do you live your life with intent or by default? And
Yes.
and I do that because I know 95% of people live financially by default. It's a backdoor way into having a conversation about money. Because if you start with, let's talk about money, the walls go up and la, 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 la. It's like, why don't we just choose insurance just for something more exciting? But the truth is, we all live life both ways. We live part of our life with intent and part of our life by default. And comes back to what you are not aware of controls you, what you are aware of you control. So if you're living by default, you have no control, you have no choice. And that's what happens to business owners. It's what happens to individuals in their financial aspects of their lives if they don't learn about it and take control. But I love that, live your life with intent. Absolutely. It's a whole different mindset.
It is. It is. It
But
is.
I think we're missing a lot of that in this country right now.
100%. Tomorrow you'll see it, though, because it's going to be all over social media, too. So I'm the social media guy. I signed up for that. I was supposed to be a speaker. Nah, I don't need to speak. It's all good at the whole conference.
Well, can somebody walk in off the street and come into your show?
Yeah.
All right. So
Yes.
where are you going to be at in Nashville? What's the timing of it?
We'll be at the Cambria Hotel, Nashville Airport. We're by the airport. So the Nashville Airport.
That's awesome. And that starts tomorrow.
Starts tomorrow morning. Registration begins at 8. And we'll kick things off at 8:45. I'll begin the immersive experience. That's also why I'm not speaking, because I speak a couple times anyway. So I'll be telling the story of the lone wolf. And as he is finding his pack, we will continue that story this year. And this year, the lone wolf he's been dressed up a little bit more. So he's got him a suit this year. And he's going on the hunt for his pack or his champions. And so it's a parallel story throughout the whole thing. But anyway, so from 8 to 5 tomorrow, and then 8 to 4 Friday.
Okay.
Absolutely. If you're watching this podcast, come on in.
Yeah. I guarantee you, if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur and you can get to this event, you want to go. You absolutely want to be there. If not, you're going to have to reach out to Clay Hicks, and you can go to h7.com
sevennetwork.com. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you can learn more there. You can reach out to me, and I'll be happy to introduce you to Clay. I think I've introduced a few folks to you, and I talk
Thank
about
you.
it all the time. And doing the same thing with VOB. Kevin trying to bring some good people in, champions that will make the organization a better place to be a part of. And you guys are both doing amazing work and serving, connecting with people. I'm very fortunate and honored to know you and to be part of it to some extent. So I want to thank you both for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Check out VOB. It's VOBN.com.
It's vobnetwork.org or com. We got both now.
Oh, you do now. Okay, so VOB Network.
I mean, as of tomorrow, our directory goes up at the .com, but we've had .org for a while. But they're actually linked, so you can get there either way now.
Yeah, well, gotcha. So
we're
VOB,
a nonprofit, so we have the .org.
yeah, nonprofit. Yeah, so we'll go with org.
Yeah.
VOBnetwork.org or h7.com. Check them out. Be a part of it. If you have something you'd like to contribute, I can tell you there's a lot of people on the other side that are listening in and going to do their very best to help you. So,
it's a team sport.
Clay, Kevin, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. We'll definitely have to do this again. I want to learn more about after the summit, how it all went, what went on. And Kevin, God bless you for building what you're building.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.